Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Brad and Matt Show.
That's right, the Brad and Matt Show, episode 22.
Yeah, and it was what a fun interview that was, sitting down with the girls from America's Sweetheart.
That's right. Last night we chatted with Val and Stace from America's Sweetheart, indie rock band based out of New York, New Jersey, right? They both live in New Jersey now. Jersey. And they were talking about their new single, Face to Face. They just released this single as well as their music video for it. Their music video is available on YouTube, and their single, Face to Face, is available on Spotify.
Well, they have an album on Spotify as well, don't they?
They do. Their older album, Firecracker, their first album is on Spotify, and then the single for Face to Face. They said that they're actually recording a new album, and Face to Face is the first single off that album. So we're excited to hear that when it is released.
Well, if any of the other songs are comparable to Face, we're in for a ride because that song is great.
We certainly are. It's a fun tune. It was a blast talking to them, wasn't it, Brad?
Oh, it was. I mean, where else am I going to hear stories of Matt wearing eyeliner, dancing around to a song about liquid center on your lips?
I mean, that's your one takeaway from that entire interview, Brad?
Well, let's just say that one kind of stuck with me.
Oh, my goodness. Well, why don't you guys all check out the full interview? Here we are talking with Val and Stace of America's Sweetheart.
It's a Brad and Matt show. It's Brad and Matt. It's a Brad and Matt show. It's Brad and Matt. One's in New York City, the other's in the Midwest. The brothers-in-law, and now they finally met. It's a Brad and Matt show. It's Brad and Matt.
Welcome to Matt and Brad Talking Shit.
All right, guys, we're here with Val and Stace of indie rock band America's Sweetheart. Val, Stace, how you guys doing?
Great. Super.
I haven't seen you guys in so long. What's new? What's happening?
Oh my gosh.
It's snowing.
It's snowing. It is snowing. It's sort of like Snowmageddon here in New York City, right?
Finally.
Brad, did you get any snow in Indiana?
We got about 4.5 inches yesterday, but we're done. So come around here about April during tornado season.
That's true.
Here's some.
So Val and Stace, basically singer and bass player for America's Sweetheart. You guys got a brand new song out right now, Face to Face.
So alone, I want face to face. I want face to face.
Tell us a little bit about that. It's awesome. I really love the single. Listening to the song, it kind of, to me, it speaks to what I think everybody's going through right now, sort of this sense of isolation with the pandemic and, just not having a normal social sphere that we're all used to. A lot of folks spending a lot of time at home. Was that an inspiration behind writing the song? Or?
I have a completely different take on it. So,
Oh, what's that?
It's true.
What's your take?
My take is watching the video. The girl's always in her phone. And to me, the song is about get the hell off your technology and go hang out with people. Be with one another.
Very insightful.
Ding, ding,
When
ding,
we
ding.
started writing it, that was what it was. And
Really?
by the time we finished, this whole pandemic was happening.
In the video.
Right.
Yes.
So you guys actually did this before the lockdown then?
Yes.
We recorded it before the lockdown. It was mixed during the lockdown. And then when Val and I came up with the video idea, we were like, we're going to have this lady. She's going to be called America. And we're going to share these feelings with people.
Yeah. And we wrote it a couple of years ago now. But it was about the alienation of the phones and just like the not quite satisfaction of these telephones that have become our friends. So
Right.
yeah. So, and then we wanted to roll the song out, and we were going to do a video, but because of pandemic, we're like, well, maybe next month we'll be able to do this, and then well, maybe next month, and it's not happening. So we had to figure out a way to do a video where no one could be in the room together or near each other. So
yeah, the video to Face to Face is an animated video. So did you guys hire an animator for that, or was that something you guys did yourself, or?
I bullied my friend Katie Plitt into drawing it.
You charmed her, Stace. You charmed her.
You're like, you owe me a music video.
No, poor girl. She is wonderful. She's a designer and an illustrator. She actually drew a cartoon called Pixie Pops that she's still, I think, working on, and had, I think, submitted to a couple of network stations. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And I loved her drawings, and I showed them to Val, and Valerie liked them. So we were like, Katie, can you draw a video? And she was like, I don't know how to do that. We're like, yeah, you do.
It's almost
Hurry
like,
up and figure it out.
Hurry up and figure it out. It seems like there's a lot of computer animation in that video, right? So
he drew everything in Illustrator, and then we hired an animator to make it go like a cartoon.
Wow.
And a director. Our friend Jennifer Cobb directed it. So, and she did a great job. Her choices of like zooming into the lips and the mailbox and the way she transitions things. And Val and I wrote the whole treatment, but she makes it smooth and delightful.
Yeah. And like made ideas translate practically into a video,
And she managed Katie and Calvin, who was the animator as well.
Interesting. It's interesting to go back what we were talking about earlier with the inspiration behind the song. You mentioned that it was initially inspired by sort of social media disconnect kind of idea, right? But how apropos is it though that it can apply in a different way now?
Yeah,
right?
The alienation goes across the board.
Yeah.
Nothing
and definitely more poignant.
Yeah. And we were working with our producer, Godfrey Diamond, in the studio, and we were putting down rough tracks for the songs that we had already written. And we had about 8, and Godfrey had an idea with the line Face to Face. And so as we were putting down the rough tracks, he's like, come on, let's get this together. And that we wrote the song while recording it. And then we put the rough tracks down, and it became sort of like, when you look at all the songs, it's like it makes sense. It's like the exclamation point at the end of the oeuvre,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So when you guys were recording Face to Face, I know you were in the studio. We were just talking about Godfrey Diamond, your producer. Did you guys have other musicians help you out with that recording?
Yes, we sure did. We on drums is Johnny Markowski.
Okay.
And Johnny, we met him through a mutual friend, and he is like a fantastic sizzling drummer. He's drummed for New Riders of the Purple Sage. New Riders of the Purple Sage, a band that Jerry Garcia started in 1969.
Oh, wow.
It's a big jam band. So he's a jam band hippie guy. He's not and he's that's why he's got that shuffle and that dreamy beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get hooked up with that guy?
He started dating my friend.
He started dating your friend.
Dating our friend, Carmi.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Between you have neighbors helping you promote.
I guess
you got a drummer that's dating your friend.
Yeah.
Great. So
now they own real estate together, so it's official.
Now I have to get a divorce and meet somebody that's musical, so you guys can have them.
And were there any other musicians that played along on that album or on that recording?
So Robbie Seahag.
Okay.
He's Godfrey's friend. We've never met him. He is a superior guitar player, very melodic, and he has played with Frank Zappa. Okay, as you know, he had a band, the Mothers of Invention, and now his band tours. I think it's with Dweezil Zappa, and they're the Grandmothers of Invention, and he plays Frank Zappa's guitar parts. And Frank Zappa is a musical genius, and C Hag is a musical genius. And thank you, Godfrey. Thank you, C Hag. Thank you, Johnny Markowski, because they added a level of dimension that is what makes it so layered and dreamy and superior, really.
And Johnny plays drums on all the songs that we recorded for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it definitely good work by all musicians involved. I mean, it's a lovely recording. It's great.
Thank you so much.
So you guys have some history with Matt.
Yes.
We got beef.
We got beef. We got beef. Fan beef.
So
Beef and sandwiches.
Yeah.
so this is the first time I've ever met either one of you. So I'm going to ask you a couple of get to know you questions.
Cool.
So how did you guys meet? Uh-oh.
Well, I don't know if it's that amazing. I don't know if Val and I have the same memory, but I have this memory. I think she was dating my then boyfriend's brother and had been dating him for some time, his older brother. And I met her. I was like, who's this jerk? And then
No,
he was intense and unfriendly. And then we went to one of my husband Patrick's older brother got married, and Val and I were the only people dancing to a go-go song, just skimming. And I honestly have this memory, Val. Maybe I made it up. But you're like, I've got a band called Agitrain, and I was like, I've got a bass. And you're like,
no, I remember that.
So that did happen.
You're like, it's in my friend's closet. It's going to take me a couple of months to go get it. But once I get it, let's start playing some
We're
music.
like, let's make a band. Let's make songs. And
That
we
is-
were like, we didn't really know how to play. We're self-taught.
So America's Sweetheart literally started on a dance floor where you're the only two dancing to a go-go song.
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Correct.
Absolutely perfect.
And we never stopped.
Perfect. So are you both from New York originally, or where are
Nope.
you guys from?
I grew up in Rhode Island, Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Oh.
Lived there till I was 20, then 18, then went to Boston, into Paris, then to New York. Kind of.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Paris.
it. Uh-huh.
Oh,
I grew
Paris.
up
New York, New Jersey.
yeah.
Thumbs up on Paris.
Jersey Pride.
Thumbs up on Jersey too.
We're both in Jersey now. I grew up in North Carolina and then moved to Rhode Island when I was in high school, and had no friends for a real long time. and then met my husband, went to New York, and met Val.
Nice.
So you guys met in New York. You
But
didn't meet.
Stace has other friends too.
She's not met me.
So you were both in Rhode Island, but you met in New York.
Yes.
First time, yeah. Tompkins
Yeah.
Square Park. You were wearing a mini skirt and really cool boots and looking
Nice.
around. You seemed angry. I think Kevin was late.
I was just hungry.
Oh, now I get it. Now I know you.
Hangry, as they say.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question will be Val and Stace call each other and they're getting together because they're going to go out and have some fun. What are you guys going to go do?
Eat and
Eat and
drink
drink.
and be merry.
And then maybe see a band.
Or
Okay.
We
write
have
a
time.
song. You want to go
Yeah,
home and write a
or-
song?
Okay.
That is one thing I definitely miss with the lockdown is not going to see live music anymore, man. Or well, not anymore. Shortly we will. Shortly we will. But I've missed it in the time that we haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Now you guys have
Yeah.
when you guys have face to face out here. I mean, you kind of doing it like an online push for the song, but wouldn't it be awesome to get out there and just rock it out?
Yes.
It will come. It will come.
Yeah, indeed.
It will.
Yeah. And it will be awesome and a lot of fun.
We've got 9 more songs. One more that we wrote
Yep.
with Godfrey, which I'm hoping comes out next. And they're a departure. I mean, it's us, especially when you hear the other 8 that we just wrote ourselves. You're like, oh, there you are.
It's us, but modern. Modern American Sweetheart.
And I'm sorry that this would be our 3rd record, and the second one, Rainbow Party, is not on Spotify.
I
because
was
feel
gonna
like
ask
that
you
one
about
was
that.
better too. Like
I
we
was going to
produced
ask you
fire.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
We
going to
produced
ask you
fire.
about that because I was
getting
telling
it up.
Brad. I was telling Brad they have this album. You guys have this album, Rainbow Party. I'm like, I love that album. I'm like, I couldn't find it, but
Yeah.
however, I did. I was as a longtime fan of you guys know what my favorite song off that album is, and so I looked it up and I found it, and it was Liquid Center, and I've been dancing around the apartment. I was telling Brad about this, how like when our bands used to play together, every time you guys played that song, I would always go up to the front and I was like dancing, and one part of the chorus is I feel like such a girl, and I'm there in my eyeliner and my lips dancing.
I love the girl in you, Matt.
Yeah, the guys in my band are like, go ahead, Maddie, go ahead,
Go.
go dance.
Let it fly.
Everybody's on a trip. Body will go where the mind's focusing. Your liquid center melts on my lips. I feel like such a girl.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So why isn't it on Spotify? You guys never
But
uploaded it to Spotify, or
We are learning how to be on the internet. And
We're not good
that's
at marketing
coming.
ourselves, Matt.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get better.
Yeah, we really have a concerted effort right now with people helping us to get all that shit out on the internet and in the right way where people
Yep.
can access it, and we can control, we can understand what's out there. It's confusing, but
Sure.
for us, but we're getting there. We're
Yeah.
moving along.
We hired a promoter, Andy from Hip Video.
No
He's a
kidding.
Jersey guy, Jersey band, and he helped us prepare all these platforms. He's like, you need a better foundation, gals.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to get anywhere. And thank goodness, we had a lot of
Yeah.
homework to do. We, I think we're maybe averaging a C right now, but
No,
but
B
it's better
minus,
than it
B
would have been.
minus.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're all as we found with our podcast, we're all on a sort of a online curve, learning how it all works. It's really cool that you guys stuff is out there. When Face to Face came out, I remember you guys sort of announced its release online, and it dropped in the UK first. Is that correct?
Yep, that's Hip Video because he got us, and I really recommend them.
Yeah, they're great.
We would not. I mean, we've got over 12,000 views.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because it was
12,000
marketed on
like five.
MTVU,
Yep.
and he has connections and helped organize this.
So cool. How'd you
So-
find this guy?
My neighbor Steve Gottlieb is a
Ah.
music video producer. Oh, I live in the
He's
weirdest neighborhood in the
he's
world.
Like,
you
yo,
guys.
he's the guy next door. The guy next door is promoting me in Europe.
I know
we
a guy.
utilize our friends. They're smart.
We bother them and then we utilize them.
That's right. Do it.
Actually, what was that movie? That Ben Stiller movie? The New Jersey thing. Do it. Just do it.
Do it. Just do it. That's right. My mom said, "You're so Jersey now." And I was like, "Yep." Damn straight.
Awesome.
So I did you guys take a break or not? I feel like there was a period of time there where we didn't hear any new American
Yeah.
Sweetheart music and stuff. What's that all about?
Well, we did take a break. There was all kinds of life stuff going on,
Mhm.
crazy, growing, living, doing. But, and Stace was on the West Coast, but when she moved back to the East Coast, we started writing songs again. But it was just a slow process getting from writing to recording to release, and we have everything recorded and we're finishing the mixing on, we got another 8 songs, 9 songs, something like
9.
that. But it's still, we're kind of dropping them one at a time now, and we still need to do finalizing and just decide what we want to put out next, and finishing the mixes and that sort of thing.
So
But
is this
it's
going to
been-
be
We've been writing songs for this album probably for about 8 years now.
okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's what it's going to be at the end. Collectively, it's going to be a new album, right?
Right.
You're not just doing singles; it's going to be an album, right?
We're going to release singles, letting the rope out slow. Hopefully a couple more videos. We have to pick and choose. We've one song about Jersey City that I'm dying to do a video for.
Whoop, woo.
We love Jersey City,
Nice.
even though I live in West Orange now. But, when I met you, Matt, I think my husband was deployed. He was in Iraq.
That's right. Yeah, that's
and
right.
so, because he joined National Guard after 9/11,
Mhm.
and he was mountain infantry. So he was deployed for 18 months in Iraq, and then he came back, and I got pregnant, and then he was deployed again for about a year to Afghanistan, two very different wars. And it had a lot, there was just a lot to manage during those deployments and also when he came home. So,
Sure.
and then I had my son, and I was like a single mom for a minute. And so it was, and also a landlady. I learned a lot.
Double whammy.
Wow. You
Yeah.
kind of checked off all the boxes there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Anxiety boxes.
Anxiety boxes.
I think I was, and I think Val would tell you, Val was like, you were really weird during those deployments. So I was probably at one of my weirdest moments. When I met you.
You came by it rightly.
A little more calm now.
So, getting back to writing, was that, I mean, were you both just itching to get it going, or was it just something that you were like, yeah, we should probably start writing again?
We were itching, and I went over to Stace's with some song ideas. I think I'd written one, and we were like, let's write some songs.
Can we tell
And
them?
we had like a 24-hour watching first season of Game of Thrones session and songwriting session.
Nice.
Nice.
It was fun. It was with a beautiful view of Jersey City.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
inspirational right there.
Val pushed me. Val was like, you better do this. I was like, I've got this kid. We're dealing with all this stuff. And Valerie said, what are you going to do when he's grown? What are you going to be?
Yeah.
You better do this. You need to do this.
Yeah.
Have a good
And
example
I'm
for your
glad we
child.
did. And you were right. I am glad that we did. I was like, I don't know if I got music in me anymore. And you were like, you do.
You got the music in you.
Mhm. And then, Val, tell them the name of the song.
Which one?
I think
Too drunk to fuck.
I
It goes like-
believe
it goes like that.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe I've heard you guys play that.
You might have. No.
It's a punk rock song. There
Yeah.
is a punk rock song, Too
No?
Drunk to Fuck. But it's not, we're not doing that song. We wrote our own.
You wrote
And
your
we
own.
researched, we're
Uh-huh.
allowed to title it the same title.
We researched.
And,
I mean,
so it's the girl version.
with a title like "Too Drunk to Fuck," I mean, I would imagine that a million musicians have different takes on how that could be interpreted.
Yes.
Musicians.
Musicians. You know what we should do? We should take a quick break though, and take a quick
Okay.
pause. Why don't we come back in a few minutes and continue the combo?
Have you listened to the Brad and Matt show and thought, wow, these guys are awesome? How can I start my own podcast? Well, I'll tell you how. We use Buzzsprout. The team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping us succeed, and they will for you as well. You can start with some gear you already have and a quiet space. Then, sign up for Buzzsprout, which gets your show listed on every major podcast platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. With Buzzsprout, you'll get a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, and tools to promote your episodes, and much more. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know we sent you, and that gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan. Plus, you'll be helping support the Brad and Matt Show. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world.
It's a Brad and Matt show. It's Brad and Matt.
Guys, welcome back to the Brad and Matt Show. We are here with Val and Stace from America's Sweetheart. Awesome for you guys to be on the show. And, during the commercial break there, Brad took the opportunity to regale the girls with the infamous I Panicked story, which I believe you can see episode 8, I think. We talk about that story in much more detail.
We enjoyed it. Thank you.
Brad, you kind of got to be careful because your son Logan actually has a pretty good social media presence, and he can get back to you pretty quickly.
Anything I can do to embarrass the shit out of that kid, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what the repercussions are.
You heard it here first, Logan.
It's his job, Logan.
So, girls, I'm so psyched that you guys are on the show, man. And like I said, in the earlier part of the episode, we were talking about your new single, Face to Face. I'm going to give you if you don't mind, my initial impressions when I first heard the song.
Oh, I would
And
love it.
I have now, I have now listened to that song, Face to Face. I would guesstimate about 8 or 9 times since you guys released it. As a matter of fact, just before we got on this interview, I rewatched the music video. So it's my 3rd time watching the music video. And I do have to say, my first impressions of the sound of the song, I heard a lot of Pink Floyd. I heard a lot of early Oasis. And I wanted to kind of throw that out at you guys and see, like, you know, what were your inspirations? And not just for that song, though, because all of America's Sweethearts, oeuvre, as you said before, that word, I love that word. Haven't heard that word in a long time.
Oh la la.
But all of you guys' music seems to draw from a bunch of different influences. As a matter of fact, my wife Shannon and I, we were listening to some of your earlier, one of your earlier albums, Firecracker, on Spotify, and we listened to Cute But Dumb. I love that tune. We were actually dancing around the apartment to it the other day.
Saw you on the corner, looked like you were lying.
But there's a little bit of surf rock in certain songs of that album. That's what I got, and I wanted to see, you know, what are you guys' influences? Who influences you guys to write music?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, everybody, every damn thing ever.
We like all the music. I mean, I grew up in the South, man, deep South. Like I am a full-on cracker. I guess you would say. Half my cousins are in jail. Most of them don't have their own teeth. Like, it's pretty intense.
You could have become a country singer then.
Oh yeah, I used to talk just like this when I got to Rhode Island. They were like, she's clearly not smart. Like, if I have enough tequila shots, I'll go right on back too. But so I love country music. I grew up with Hee Haw, man. George Jones, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, and Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton so much.
Who doesn't? Everybody loves Dolly.
Yeah, because she's awesome.
She is so awesome.
Val and I cut work once, played hooky, and drove to Lowell, Massachusetts to see her.
Oh,
We just drove there, saw the concert, and then got back in the car and drove back to New York City.
that is
Donuts. Ate donuts all the way back
played.
through the night.
Yeah, it was delicious.
the Dolly and Donuts road trip.
Yeah, I like that. That's what we should
Basically.
have called it. She was just playing like crazy bar chords with those nails, and like, I mean, she just made us cry. She's
In her Bob Mackie
fantastic human
dress.
being. Yeah, fantastic songwriter, fantastic musician, really, and great singer.
Yeah.
And so I've got a big country background, and then personally, just I'm a punk rocker, man. I like hardcore shows, and those things I feel are in those songs. And then I would say Val's more like a rock. Val writes songs like a 16-year-old boy from New Jersey. You go, Val. Tell him your influences.
Yeah.
Chugga. Well, in terms of playing guitar and writing songs, I like more rhythmic than melodic. And I remember the first day I managed to like do a Bo Diddley beat while singing at the same time, which is really hard to do. And I'm like, I can do this. I can do it. At least for 30 seconds. Or but I mean I love Buddy Holly. I love Pete Townsend. I love like Bo Diddley, that chomp 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 chomp. And I find it grounding and wholesome.
Do you still have that guitar? That green?
Gretsch?
What is that, Gretsch?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Brad, I gotta see if I can find a picture of that guitar.
I'm gonna go get it. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's gonna show you.
Oh, wait.
But your
Okay,
friend,
yes.
was your
Keep
friend
talking.
Abby?
Keep talking.
Your friend took that photograph.
Oh
The
man,
pretty girl on the skates.
I don't
Super
know.
Fox.
I don't
And
even.
she was hanging
remember.
around you guys all the time then.
Oh, Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Yes, yes.
Dark hair.
Yeah.
Like just straight up Fox. She
Nice.
took a great photograph of Valerie playing her Gretsch.
Yeah. So we're doing audio right now, but if you guys could see this guitar, it is a mint green Gretsch with this beautiful hardware on it. And not only is it a gorgeous looking guitar, Val, I love the way it sounds.
It's gorgeous. The guy from My Own Personal Jesus.
Oh yeah.
He played one just like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what amp do you play through, by the way?
I have a Fender Reverb.
Mhm.
See, I think that was one thing you and I always had in common. We're both Fender fans. You know what I mean?
You
We
guys
play
are
those-
classics.
Yeah.
Like a warm hug.
But
It can,
that's
it can
a
be
hug.
like it
that's
can
a
be
gor-
a gritty hug or a soft hug, however you
yeah.
It's warm.
It's just a hug.
Just so you guys know, I am not musically inclined in the least little bit.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely.
You got the song. You nailed
But
the
I'm
song.
fascinated by music. I mean, who isn't?
Right.
I
in there.
listen to just about anything and everything you can listen to, from country to hardcore gangster rap.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
it's
I don't-
fun to listen to people that actually know music talk about how it's made and what they use, and it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Just had to throw that in there.
I
That
appreciate it.
I didn't want you guys to think that I knew anything. That's why I'm
not?
just over here being quiet.
He's so mysterious, Val.
He's so mysterious.
What's he thinking? What is he thinking?
What does the bearded man think?
I've been working on this for a while. Leave me
It's
alone.
fantastic. It's the
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, I started growing one when it got to be winter, and Brad tells me I got a lot of catching up to do.
You need like a year, my friend.
I definitely do. I definitely do.
I'm working on my beard too. I'm like entering menopause. I'm gonna have like a Van Dyke.
Actually, speaking of guitars, Stace, you have a few guitars on the wall behind you. There's the pink one, which I remember the pink one from when you guys used to play. Is that a fuzzy guitar behind you?
So thank you for noticing. My husband sewed that fuzz on that bass for me.
That is
And
awesome.
Because
it
he
is
thought it was
amazing.
cool.
That man loves me, and I am so lucky.
Oh my gosh.
He and we just celebrated our 23rd wedding anniversary
Congratulations.
on the 30th, you guys.
That's fantastic.
Nice.
Congrats.
I am so proud of us. And my friend Kristen Dupuis is a designer and sews very, very well. And she looked at that. You can it has Velcro on the back, so you can rip it off.
Oh,
And she was like, Stace, this is really good. She's like, he worked really hard on this. He told
It's
me he had like 4 different iterations. He was like hiding it under the couch and stuff.
oh
He
my
gave it to
God.
me. Isn't
It's
it
so
great?
cool. It's so
You know
cool.
what though? It doesn't sound good. I don't like that bass.
Oh, really?
He didn't know what kind of bass
Well,
to buy. God bless him.
you-
He
you-
worked so hard.
You know what's funny is sort of like the beater guitars are the ones that you can do all the awesome creativity with. You know what I mean?
That's one nice way. When I would
Yeah.
play it, Matt, I would start sweating, and pieces of the fuzz would float up and land on my nose and itch the whole time. I was like, "This is not working for me."
Rock and roll.
That is hilarious.
Rock and roll.
That is hilarious.
Fender is great. That is the first Japanese copy of the Fender bass, and I have a custom Mike Lull. Would you like to see it?
I would love to see.
Get that one
Smells
out.
like I said, smell, Val. It sounds like the richest, yummiest,
Oh,
richest. I say again, because twice is nice.
yeah.
Dark chocolate ever. I'm going to show you.
Nice.
It should come.
Val will
It
tell
should
you a
come.
story while I do.
You know, it's funny. It's funny the way that Stace just described this guitar's tone, because that brings me to another question I wanted to ask both of you.
Uh-huh.
Now, while Stace is getting the guitar, I have the opportunity to ask you, Val. There's a lot of almost, it seems like, candy references in a lot of your music. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, and we actually, it's funny that you say that because we have another song called Sour Candy that's coming out on
Right.
That's
this
beautiful.
one. Yes. We like candy. We don't not like candy,
Right?
but we know we like all foods.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love food. All the food.
A little candy.
Also,
little
all the
extra.
drink. I think Val and I could have been Roman emperors. We
Oh,
could have
yeah?
just been like
Or at least.
watching
or at
ourselves
least-
and going to the vomitorium. I don't know.
Like we're talking Caligula times kind of thing? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Caligula.
Naughty times, right before
not
the end.
Caligula. Who's the other one?
Nero.
Little boots.
Nero. Little Boots. Yeah.
Nero
No,
was
he's
the
Caligula.
crazy one.
Yeah.
There was
One-
a smart one
Claudius,
right after
Claudius.
Little Boots.
Claudius,
Claudius.
Claudius. He was smart.
Of the first
Madam
five,
Effect.
of the first 5 there, Claudius mostly seemed to have his shit together.
Agreed. But yeah, I
So-
love this space, you guys. I bought it in Seattle, and it is a custom.
Where is it?
The
She
bass?
just showed it. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
oh.
It's beautiful.
It's in your
Guys,
pants, Val.
Where's the
Check.
good?
Oh, that is.
And
a
I had a
lovely
drop
guitar.
D key on it, but I was actually starting to have problems with it. The bass is old now, and I just removed it because you know what? I wasn't using it.
Right. Like,
Pretty straightforward.
yeah. If I can tune it to E, I'm fine. I would only need a drop D for it.
Like this is like I only do this at practice, and it annoys Val.
Why does it sound like that? What's wrong?
Stop doing
What's
that. It doesn't
What's
sound
that?
right.
What's that? Who's doing that?
Was our producer Godfrey Diamond one of my favorite things that because he really brought us up. He taught us about. I mean, me and Val were just in a bedroom making sounds for a good long time, and I remember when we wrote.
And then in a skeezy bar basement making sounds.
Yeah, and like the first time I was like, I think that sounded like a song. We both burst into tears. Like that was a song. It was totally a song. And then, but when we met Godfrey, he was like, "You guys don't know how to play in time. You don't know where the one is." He taught us so much,
One.
and
And
I
he's like,
remember,
one.
yeah, I remember being in the booth once, and he was like, "Are you doing that on purpose?
Yeah.
Stop that." I was like, "I don't know, actually."
So speaking of Godfrey Diamond, he's your producer, and I think he produced Rainbow Party.
Yes.
Yes.
And he produced your. Did he produce Firecracker or no?
No, we
No.
did that.
You did
I was
that
like-
one. So
And you can
great-
tell.
That was early days. Early days.
It's really obvious.
So how did you meet Godfrey Diamond? So he's your producer. As you guys know, I played in a band for many years, and we've never quite had a producer that has stuck with us long as Godfrey has stuck with you guys. So do you kind of consider him like another member of the band in
Yes.
a sense when you're recording music, you know?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
And he's
He
the
gives you,
best
like,
daddy
the-
ever.
Like
Yeah.
the third eye, right? He's like the third
Yeah.
eye of like your
And yeah, we run everything by him.
nice.
We
Yeah.
don't always agree, but
Yeah.
we listen to everything he says, man.
Yeah.
Now, you know
we,
what?
we listen and we say, well, yeah, or no.
You know what?
And he does the same to us, you know.
He
and
permits
he's-
us.
Yeah.
I'm firmly
And he's
of
like, I
the-
like a good pushback. I like a good pushback.
Right. I'm firmly of the opinion that if your producer is agreeing with everything you're telling him, you got the wrong producer. You know what I mean?
You are right.
So I think
I
that's
agree with you.
absolutely true. So
Yeah. What smartest thing we ever did was really listen to that guy. And you know, there was a time we had other band members and they kind of weren't that into it. But both Val and I were like, because Val and I are drummer sluts, you know, we always have like a new drummer. In every video, it's a different drummer.
Yeah.
And like, who's that one? Doesn't matter.
The
Had
new one.
boys,
It's the new
girls.
one.
We're not sexist. But Val and I we just trusted him. He has a good heart and he's been around, man. He's been doing this his whole life.
Yeah.
Every disco record most of us have heard was like mixed by him. And
I was just gonna say, after when Face to Face came out, like I think I read that Godfried had is it Godfrey or Godfried?
Godfrey.
Godfrey. I saw that he had produced Face to Face, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard that name in so long. I literally friend requested him on Facebook.
Good.
I think he requested me, you know. But you're right. That guy he's done a lot of stuff, and like, you know, he knows his way around a recording studio for sure.
Oh my God. He's got the best of analog knowledge, right? You know, doing tape to tape, reel to reel, what have you, and then transitioning to digital. And he really gets the knack of keeping something warm, but also accessing the immediacy and acumen of Pro Tools and understanding how like I can make this and make it awesome. And he's old school and he's like, no, you're going to do it right. You're going to sing it live and I'm not going to modulate or change anything. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of practicing before we record and he like gets us in shape. And yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So my question for you guys is what is the biggest show you played?
Was it that show in DC or was it that weird place where we were camping?
Or was it the one on the Boston Commons? The one on the Boston Commons.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest one.
There was like 1,000 people. Would you?
Yeah,
think?
it was after some sort of like walk for hunger or something
Yeah.
like that. on
Is
Boston
something
Commons.
important?
Yeah.
I know.
All I remember is I had my sister-in-law's baby shower was happening in the neighborhood. So I had to go from the show to the baby shower. That's all I remember.
I remember
So,
That's rock and roll.
so I think
Now
the
I'm totally
sandwich was-
interested in this whole camping thing.
that. That was weird. Where were we again? Were we in Mississippi?
That was in Missouri.
Hot. It was hot. Mother
It was in
trucker.
Missouri. In
Girl. All I know is Val and I shared a tent, and I looked over at one point. It was so hot, and she just had no shirt on. I was like, "What's up?"
sweaty shirtless
It
person.
was so hot.
It was in the Ozark,
Stand on
the
the
Ozark
road.
Mountains. The
Ozark Mountains.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's rock.
That's
Yeah,
so awesome.
life on the road.
I found the road. We went all the way. We wanted to go to Japan. That was our objective. We made it
We
to
might
Toronto.
still get there. We might still get there. Yeah, we made it as far north as Toronto, as far south as the Mississippi Delta.
Mississippi.
I
Nice.
think that the sandwich played with you guys out in Boston a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
What was great about that Boston Walk for Hunger gig was that it was all people that were ending the marathon. So you sort of had a captive audience. These people were getting done with the marathon and they were just ending up in the park. Next thing you know, there's a rock band. It's like, cool,
Let's sit
man.
down.
Yeah.
Matt, do you remember? Was it that many people? Wasn't it a lot of people? Or
Yeah,
did we
there
make that up?
were. I mean, you didn't make it up because that Boston Marathon, they used to run like 5,000 to 10,000 people running that marathon, and they would all end their run on Boston Common. And if you remember, we had food trucks. Well, we didn't, but like they did. The people who organized it, Walk for Hunger. And it all went for a good cause. I should mention that. It went to feed like folks, that needed some, so yeah, you're not making it up. There was a lot of people there because they were all coming off the run,
You guys are
Right.
great. I always love your band. And I make my son wear a Mike Sandwich shirt, the one with the cool transistor radio,
Oh,
but it
nice.
does have a lady 3/4 sleeve.
Of course. Of course.
Not his best look, but it
no.
fits in perfectly. I was like, how did that ever fit over my person?
Actually, Stace, that's the one I still wear. It's the ladies.
It's really
cut.
cute. The black and white. I like that black and white.
Yeah, thank you.
And I loved that record live. I loved you guys playing it live. My favorite.
Oh, thanks, man. That was a fun record. So we already talked about your songwriting influences. I mean, when I mentioned early Oasis, you both looked a little surprised.
Yeah, I mean, when they were popular, they were not my favorite band. But as I've gotten older, I'm starting to appreciate. I'm like, yeah, that's good. It was their fans I didn't like.
Yeah,
The songs are good. That's a damn good pop song, man.
I agree with you. They had, especially in the UK, they had sort of, it seems as I remember, they had a group of fans that were sort of like the rough people in London. Yeah, not the people you wanted to hang out with. There was another band actually that you guys have always reminded me of. And Stace, when you mentioned that you're a kind of an old school punk rocker, not that these guys are old school punk rockers, but Veruca Salt, the way you guys harmonize.
Val was never a fan of them, but I am.
Right,
You're like, I remember Val, you were like, sorry to call you Al V, but you were like, I don't like it.
See,
But I do. I like Veruca Salt.
it's kind of funny because I'm a fan of Veruca Salt.
Mhm.
And
Seether.
I see there. As a matter of fact, I gotta ask. Actually, you two are the best two people to ask this question of. Before the lockdown happened, Mike Sandwich was set to play a gig at Arlene Grocery, right? And we were working on a cover song. We tried to do one cover song each of our sets, right? And we were going to do Seether, right? We were going to do
Nice.
Seether from Veruca Salt. And I learned the guitar line. I learned the solo. I was ready to rock it. And then we had one rehearsal where I was like, is it going to be weird? A group of 4 dudes singing Seether?
No. It's
I
going to
didn't
be
think so.
awesome.
I thought
It's
so
going to be
too.
awesome.
Right. I mean, I think certain people were sort of like, would we come off as like weirdly misogynist or something? Like
No.
with it
No.
or something. Yeah.
It's like,
No.
what is that
an
band
homage.
Cake that does like I Will Survive?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cake.
that's
Yeah.
good.
I like that. In fact, I was like, this is cool. I like boys. And we have a song where we talk about how much we like boys. And I'm a fan. And I like it. I like different interpretations of different songs.
Yeah.
Val and I have sung songs that like we're literally basically taking the male perspective. And I'm trying to think of one of our covers, Val, right now. But I mean, we did like Elvis Costello covers. I'm a big fan of his also.
Oh, I love Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, bro. I got like most of his albums and some of them that are like I'm a huge fan.
But when we writing the Face to Face song, we sort of we're thinking Stones, thinking the Rolling Stones, and sort of like waiting on a friend vibe on the Stones.
You know, Val, now that you
Although we don't have different tuning, but you know.
Yeah, but it's just the vibe, just that, and like the drums and the.
Trying to get more mellow, Matt. You know, we've always been a little erratic.
Yeah.
Sometimes erratic is good.
Sometimes erratic is good. I mean, I will say just, you know, for me as someone who's been a fan of your band for a long time, I can see your progressions from Firecracker to Face. You know what I mean? I can see enhanced musicality. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of your.
I'm still learning to play the bass.
Yeah,
well,
we're also learning.
You know what's funny is, so Val, you're the primary guitar player in the band, and like that's why I asked you about your amp earlier. I think you and I play guitar very similarly. We're very power chord chunky kind of players.
Yeah.
Which is it's a rhythm style. You know what I mean? We make great music with it. You know what I mean? The simple 1-5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely see more expansiveness happening in Face to Face, and I can't wait to hear your newer stuff, the other stuff that's going to be on this new record. So,
I do think Face to Face and our other song Sour Candy that we wrote with Godfrey are probably like musically the most advanced. Would you agree, Valerie?
Yeah.
But Godfrey has a lot to do with it, and he brought in Sea Hag. I don't know how much you know about him to do other guitars.
Lead guitar guy.
Because Val came up with that little do 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 do, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you know, we wrote those words. They really just poured out, and then Godfrey leveraged his
when we're doing the final recording.
Yeah,
because he plays a lot. A brilliant, smooth one.
That's what's adding that dimension. That sounds like some people. Oh, Billy Squire is a friend of Godfrey Diamond's, and young people won't know who that is, man. But he said, "I hear faces, and I like it."
Early faces.
That's early Rod Stewart band. I don't know if you guys.
Come on.
And I love the faces. I love them.
Me too.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about young people listening to this podcast.
Good.
I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
You might be right.
So what's next for America's Sweetheart?
I got more songs in my person, and I know Val does too. I'm really looking forward to writing more songs, Val. How do you feel? I got a song about a guy named Leon that I got to play for you, Val.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
So, like, when the pandemic is over, are you guys going to tour, or how will that work now?
Well, we'll play some shows. I don't really feel like going on tour right now, but do you, Stace?
I got a son.
No, I know.
My son needs me.
We definitely want to play out around Jersey City, New York area, and we want to get these songs out. The songs that
we do
recorded.
They deserve it. We worked hard on them, and so we'll give them their due. And I would like to play, but I want to control it. Like, you know, Liz Phair doesn't play a lot. She's got records. She does well. She controls it, and then she does little special concerts here and there. And I want to pick and choose. I'm a lady now.
We're opening to playing the Colbert Show when we're invited.
Ooh, wow, that'd be awesome.
My boyfriend Stephen Colbert. He lives in Montclair, 20 minutes from my house.
You guys want to know something funny? Speaking of Colbert, I for a short time did a gig at Juilliard. I was working at Juilliard, and John Baptiste from Stay Human was actually hanging out there all the time. So yeah, I met John Baptiste a few times. He's the sweetest man in the world. He's so nice.
He seems like it.
And he's in Rhode Island. You saw that, Val. He's been in Rhode Island during the pandemic in a theater in Westerly, Rhode Island, bro.
That's where his family is from.
They're from New Orleans, I thought.
I thought he said he was visiting family.
Well, good.
Maybe not.
Everybody needs some Rhode Island family and some New Orleans family.
Wait. How do the three of you know so much about John Petit?
We're fans.
Oh my goodness.
We
Not.
religiously watch the Colbert Show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me too.
man.
Love
man.
that guy.
I've loved
Him
him
back from the
since
Daily Show.
before that. I loved him from that. Was it Strangers with Candy?
Strangers with
Yeah.
He's such a
Candy.
nerd. He's my kind of man. I'm a fan. And
Yeah.
I remember, Val, do you remember we had this like little argument with our other bandmates once because I was saying his show was so awesome when he was like Nation, he's being like a fake Republican and they didn't get the joke. They're like, we hate him. I was like, no, he's joking, man.
Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
So guys,
yeah, I can't wait to get out to New York and hopefully get to see you guys play.
Ooh, that was
Can we
fun.
play with Mike
Yes.
Sandwich, Matt?
what's that?
Can we play with Mike Sandwich?
Well, I do want to share something with both you and Val. When Face to Face came out, I shared it with the guys in Mike Sandwich. I was like, "Yo, America's Sweetheart's putting out a song. What are you guys doing with your life? What's happening? You're failing as human beings." So I'm happy to report, which you'll probably hear about it first here on the Brad and Matt Show in a few episodes, but Mike Sandwich's 20th anniversary is coming up in the middle of February. And
Sexy.
we are in the process of recording our first single in, gosh, probably 10 years.
Oh, I can't.
Excellent.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm psyched.
Yes.
So you guys have inspired us. So
Sweet.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm so excited.
I had to get these guys off the couch, Stace. I had to
Ah,
get
me too.
You got to get bitches off the couch.
You do.
Val had to get my ass off the couch.
So we're almost out of time, but I do have two last questions to ask you before we leave. And these pretty much come from my wife because my wife Shannon, and she's seen you band quite a few times as well. And there were two questions she brought up to me that I'm like, you know what? I got to ask the girls when I got them on the podcast. First one was we kind of remember there was a Home Depot gig.
Oh yeah.
What was that all about?
I think our drummer secured that gig.
Yes,
Is that right?
Trish did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trish
She had a
Meadows
relationship
made
with-
that gig happen.
Yeah, there was a fellow at Home Depot who worked with community outreach, and she was in there shopping one day, and they started chatting, and she made that happen,
And it was
very
awesome.
fun. We rocked on pallets. Our
Yeah.
stage was a bunch of pallets.
Yeah, I saw
Right.
a bunch of pictures. I thought it was like a grand opening of the Home Depot, but no, it was you were in the parking lot. They set up a stage in the parking lot. I mean, that's kind of awesome.
It was.
You guys, it was super awesome. People would walk by holding their Dunkin' Donuts coffee, like, I don't understand.
They're like, yeah,
All right, go. All right, though.
this is happening in the parking lot at Home Depot. Yeah.
It was a pleasure. I have to say, I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it because that's
That's
that's a weird audience.
Yeah.
And remember when we played in Nashville, Val? Like I, as a Southerner, was quite nervous. And I was like, these people, they're surrounded by the best, the
Yeah.
technically beautiful and,
Great
just
musicians.
fantastic musicians. And I was like, oh Lord, we're just like this trio punk rock. We were four then, but punk rock
Quattro.
band.
We were quattro.
We were quattro. And I was really, really nervous. And I think I was 3 months pregnant. And we played, and the response that we got there was also similar to the weird Home Depot experience, because a lot of people that you would not think would really enjoy your kind of music approached us. And Nashville, they're like, y'all are better than you think. They're
Wow.
like, it was pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think I went home and cried. Like, I think I was
Yeah.
just like on my inflatable mattress, which was always on the floor when I woke up in the morning.
Nashville is such a music town that the random passerby saying that actually has some cred, right?
I
Has some
stayed and
water.
listened to the whole
Yep.
set.
That's great.
And at Home Depot too, like strange, like older Hispanic men were like, oh, I like it. Who are you? What's your name?
So, my final question for both of you has to do with your lyrics, has to do with lyrical content. I am interjecting this question right now because you have one line in Cuba, Tom, that I love, and it's I saw you on the corner. You look like you were lying. I'm like, dude, that is awesome. Great one. And then my wife Shannon, we were listening to Liquid Center earlier, and the chorus, your liquid center melts on my lips.
That's bad.
And Shannon says to me, she's like, what are they talking about? I'm like, come
You
on.
know what she's talking about.
I'm like, come on. Come on. You know what I mean? Some things are.
Do you remember Freshen Up Gum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you were inspired by that. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, I know you're talking about sex, dude.
Sex, but also, that's the beauty of songwriting. You can write a line about 3 different things about the fucked up center of a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Val's deep.
Val is deep
Superficial.
and candy coated.
Yes.
Isn't it great?
A little bit of sugar helps the medicine go down.
All right, guys.
Brad.
I just
Brad.
want to thank you guys for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure talking to both of you. I don't
Thanks
know
for
that I've
having us.
laughed this much during one of our podcasts.
That's
Actually.
true.
Good.
That was a really nice compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And
So-
yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say, Val and Stace, do you want to tell our listeners where they can check out Face to Face, where they can see your music video? You want to, let us know?
YouTube.
YouTube. So that's
American
the music
Sweetheart,
video.
Face to Face. Yep.
Yep, and you guys are on Spotify, right?
Yep.
Cool. So you guys can check out America Sweetheart. We'll put links to their music as well as the music video in our show notes.
So kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
for
much.
having
It's
us.
just really lovely to see you and
Yeah.
lovely to meet you, Brad. And Brad, you've
Nice
got a great
meeting you
radio
guys.
voice. It's fantastic. And Matt, I miss you and I miss your playing so much.
Oh, I miss you guys too. And it was so awesome catching up with you guys. Do me a favor, girls, please do me a favor. When this album comes out, I know you're doing the singles, but when it comes out collectively, promise me you're coming back on the Brad and Matt show. I promise I'll have the recording stuff all figured out by then.
No,
Absolutely.
he won't.
But
Yes,
no,
you will.
it's probably
It'll be a new problem.
They'll be- at that point, we'll be in 4D, and I'll have to figure out the 4D thing, So I don't know. But anyways,
Oh.
please promise me you'll come back on the Brad and Matt show and
Yes.
Absolutely.
and tell us about it. Okay.
I promise.
All right, ladies.
Cross our hearts.
Awesome. America's Sweetheart here with us today. Val and Stace. Love you, girls.
Thanks so much. Love you
Good
too.
luck. Good luck on the single, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out at The Brad and Matt Show on Facebook and Instagram and at The Brad and Matt Show 1 on Twitter.
It's the Brad and Matt Show. It's Brad and Matt. It's the Brad